Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm bored and I am here playing Teen Titans trading card game. I did a unboxing overview of the game. I went through it a couple times. I think I have a hang of the gameplay. As I mentioned in my unboxing overview, this is a very old game from 2005, no longer in print, published by Bandai, and bottom line is I got it because it's the Teen Titans. It's the Teen Titans that I enjoyed watching on TV. And I went through a couple of the components. I think I had a couple errors in some of my terminology and also understanding, but I think after a few plays, I have an understanding. So hopefully this video will capture that essence and you get a sense of what it's like. And hey, if you can find it and you like Teen Titans and you like the game flow, by all means, go out and get it if you can find it for cheap. And I'm just going to go ahead and play. I'm going to use the maps, the game mats, because I think that will just help explain and visualize the areas. I didn't do that with previous videos just because I feel that there's a bit more going on here and it's helpful to see the different areas. So I've got Teen Titans on one side, and I've got Team Slade on the other side. And their decks are respectively broken into a villain deck and a Teen Titans deck. So you'll put your deck here. Slade will have his deck there. It has 30 cards. This is the starter set, so it only came with 30 cards per team, but I believe through the collectible card game itself, normally it has 50 cards in your deck. You will have a mix of cards, which are character cards, skills cards, which are the kind of cards that you use during a battle to help improve the overall power of your character. You'll have storyline cards, which, depending in which phase you're at, you'll be able to play them to help modify either the outcome or a one-time bonus to your team or affect the other player when they are playing. Players will take turns doing sort of an attack, offense, defense. So you'll flip a coin. Whoever wins that coin toss will do the offense turn, and the opponent will do the defense turn. And you'll always have a hand size of 5. There will be, I think, 4 or 5 phases. There is the draw phase at the beginning of your turn. Both players will be drawing cards. So in terms of gameplay, you are playing kind of simultaneously, but the person that is on the offense will always start the action first. So when drawing cards, you both draw to a card hand size of 5, and then there'll be an action phase where you'll be playing cards, any card from your hand, as an action card, and that action card is basically your currency, your resource to pay for the cost of other cards that you may need to pay for, and specifically you'd be using it to pay for storyline cards and maybe some abilities. I'm not sure, I haven't come across that yet. And then when you're doing that, the person on the offense will do that first, and then the person on defense. Then the next phase will be the staging phase, where from your hand, the offense player will choose a character card from their hand, and they can only play one character card at a time per turn onto the staging area, and then the person on defense will do the same. There will be a move phase where you can move that character, and you'll be playing most of the cards you are playing face down. So you'll be moving those characters to a field. The field is located, sort of the separation between both players, and those are locations. And each character can move only once between the field and the staging area. You can never move your character between field to another field. After that, you will initiate a battle phase. The attackers will declare the attack at whatever location they're at. Any defenders there will also be there to defend. You'll be doing what's called a team check. Then you'll be doing what's called a grade check. These are sub-phases. Then you'll be doing for a check on any effects that your character or the field may have. Then you'll be comparing the power of the characters at the field. And then you'll have the option to play any storyline cards, provided that you can pay the cost, as well as any skills card to help augment the power of your characters. After that, you'll determine the outcome, which is comparing the overall power of the attackers versus the overall power of the defenders collectively. The highest, the team with the highest, or the character with the highest power wins the battle, defeating whoever is at that, the defenders at that field, and they will be collecting those defenders as victory points into their victory pile. If there's a tie, nothing happens. Those characters will remain in play at that specific field. Okay, so that's a lot to absorb, but let's just quickly start. And what we've got here, we're going to start with Teen Titans. Teen Titans will have 3 fields. And remember, everything at the beginning pretty much is played face down, which makes this a very interesting game. But obviously we are going to take a look, and we have Pizza Shop, City Streets, and Titan Towers. And they have effects depending on the condition, and you'll see that they also have a limit, which is a field limit or a location limit. That is the grade check that you use when characters are at the field. Their total grade check cannot exceed the limit value of the field. So we'll be playing that, and also as you defeat the fields, or as you are successful in defeating your opponents at their field location, the fields will be taking damage, and once they reach a number of points or damage points equal to their limit value, you take that field and collect it into your victory pile. In terms of winning the game, it's the first player to reach 15 victory points, or the first person to collect, or I guess capture, the opponent's 3 field cards. So we're going to play these fields face down, and this is Teen Titans side, and then simultaneously our opponent Slade will be playing his 3 field cards. Now we don't know what they are, which is going to be kind of the experience that you may encounter. So this is your field. These are the locations. This is where all the battle will be taking place. You're not specifically targeting specific characters. What you're trying to do is you're trying to attack your opponent's locations, and as you're attacking the opponent's location, they'll be assigning defenders, you'll be attacking their defenders, and vice versa. Okay, both players will draw a hand of 5. And we'll draw 5 for Slade. I believe there was an option for a mulligan on your first hand, but I don't think it was specifically implied in the rulebook. And let's see. No, it actually doesn't say anything about a mulligan. I'm sure it's not a huge problem to do that if you wanted to. So I'll just take a look. I've got several cards in my hands. I've got 4 character cards and a storyline card. It would be nice to have a skills card, but for the sake of argument, I'm just going to hold on to this hand. And we'll take a look at Slade's hand, and he has mostly characters, and that's fine. I'll describe that in a second. So that was the draw phase. You always have a maximum hand of 5 cards. The next will be the action phase, which is basically the resource step. You'll be taking a card, any card from your hand, and using it as resource. So one of the rules also is that at any given time, you cannot have more than 1 character of the same name. So the name here is Robin. I know there's some flavor text at the top here. That is not like a title description or a subtitle. These are 2 Robins. You cannot, even though they're different artwork, different grades, different attributes, you cannot play them both in the same field. So I'm going to take this one because he actually has less of ability, and I'm going to play him as an action. So he'll be in my action or resource area, which I can use in the future to pay for abilities or storylines. And then it would be the opponent's turn to do the same thing. So we're going to go ahead. We're just going to play the start. You don't have to. You're not required to use a card for your action or resource, but it doesn't hurt to have some there. So we'll play that there on their side. Now we go into the staging phase where the person on offense, we're going to say Teen Titans in this situation, they're going to start first. They get to play one character from their hand, and they'll be placing that character face down. So I'm going to play Robin. He has several attributes here, which are important. Let me see if I have this in view here. So he has the character. I think I went through this in my overview. He has his name. He has his team affiliation, which is Teen Titans, and that matters. Yeah, and he also has a grade, which is his level, and he is a level 3, and that also matters. He has several attributes: intelligence, agility, and gadgets. Attributes will dictate whether or not you can place certain cards, like skills or storylines, for the character, but specifically for skills. Then you also have a special ability, and this is a special condition when he's on the offense. So this ability only applies when he's the attacker. And his special ability on offense is superior tactics. For every card in your hand, Robin gets plus 100 power, and you'll see that, that's a pretty good ability, you'll see that his power is baseline at 600. So I have, as of right now, I have 3 cards in my hand, so he would have 900 power. So I'm going to play my one character in the staging area face down. My opponent has no idea who I've played, and now my opponent will be doing the same thing. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put down Cinderblock. And we also place him face down. So this is where sort of a rock, paper, scissors effect takes place, in which you're going to be moving into the next stage, which is the move phase. The move phase is where, starting with the person that's attacking, or the offense player, they will be moving their character to one of their opponent's field, or one of their opponent's locations, not their own, because you are attacking. You're not going to go to your own location to attack. You're going to your opponent's location to attack. For the beginning, it's sort of a shot in the dark. You don't know what field locations are out there, and you don't know what they have and what they are. So I'm going to just randomly assign Robin right here. I know it's Robin. My opponent doesn't know it's Robin. And then once that's done, that you can only move your character once, one move per turn, per character, if I had more characters. And at any given time in your staging area, you can only have a maximum of 6 characters. So you can have 6 characters in your staging area, and you can have 1 character in each of your field locations at any given time. You just can't have more than 6 in this staging area. So the next thing we're going to do is, this would now pass over to your opponent, the defender's turn, and the defender will move his characters to defend his location. So he's not on the attack, so he's not going to be moving to the Titans area. He's going to defend. So I'm going to move who I know is Cinderblock here. So that ends the move phase. Now it is the reveal phase. Anytime a card is revealed, it stays face up. You'll flip them over, it's face up, so you know. And you would only flip them during a combat or during a battle at a specific field or location. If I had another character card that I wasn't moving, and I'm going to keep them in the staging area, during the battle I would flip these cards over, but not the character that's been face down in my staging area. And all the other field locations that are not currently in a battle, they would stay face down. So in this situation, I'm going to flip over my character. I've got Robin, we've got Cinderblock, and the location is Cook's Electronics Store. Now, we're going to do a couple checks here, because what you see here does make a difference. And it differs depending on whether you're the attacker or whether you're the defender. So first thing we're going to do is called the grade check. The grade check is, you take a look at your field, and you'll see at the top there is a limit and a value. This represents several things. The first thing it represents is the maximum value for the character grade that can be at this location for both the attacker and the defender. And the second thing this represents is, out of 3 things, the second thing this represents is the victory point value of this field, so it's worth 2. And the third aspect this represents is the amount of damage that this field takes before you can claim it as a victory point. So it will take 2. And I'll explain that hopefully as I am able to attack it. So because the field limit is 2, we do a grade check. We check Robin's grade, which is 3. He is not allowed to be in this area or attack in this area because his grade is exceeding the limit of 2. But he stays here for now. He can't do an attack, but he stays here for now. And if if it exceeds, the battle doesn't take place, but the cards stay on the field. So this battle won't take place. And for the defender, Cinderblock is also a grade of 3. If the defensive player character exceeds the field card limit, then he's immediately sent to the trash, and the battle would continue without defenders. Now, there is no battle, so I actually don't know, and this is where some of the clarity in the rules doesn't really make sense. If Robin was just say he was a value of 2, so he can battle, but Cinderblock cannot battle, he goes straight to the trash. But there is no battle. They've just been assigned there, and there is no battle. So the way I would read this is that the battle doesn't take place, but the character stays on the field. But because there is no battle. But it says the characters immediately are sent to the trash. So we're going to send Cinderblock to the trash. We'll just follow that text, and that's it. But Robin doesn't get to do his attack because he can't. He shouldn't be here anyways. So there's no battle. There's nothing to compare. We're done. Now play would move onto and we'll flip roles. Now it's Slade's turn. He becomes the attacker. We're going to do the draw phase. Everybody draws up to their hand of 5. And he'll draw up to his hand of 5. We now do any action or resource that we want to do, and he's not going to. For Robin, does he want to put down a resource of any kind? He probably won't either. The next thing will be the staging, which is Slade's team gets to put down a character, and we are going to put down Thunder. We're going to put him down the staging area face down. Now the defenders will do as well, and we'll put down Cyborg. No, we'll put down. Yeah, we'll put down Cyborg. Sure. Okay, there we go. So that's that. Now we move into the moving phase. The attacker, Slade, is going to move. We'll just start here. We don't know what's there. And for me as Robin and the Teen Titans, at any time I am able to look at my face down cards. I can't show them, but I can look at my face down cards to see what I have. And that helps when you're planning who you want to move, if you can move. So we're going to go ahead, and Slade has done his move. Now it's the defender's turn to move. I'm going to move Robin out into the staging area. So he's moving out from the field, Cook's Electronics Store, and moving into to the staging area. That's the end of the move for Robin. I cannot move him from here into the staging area and then from the staging area to this location. I'm only allowed 1 move per character per turn. So I will be moving, and you can't move between fields. So I can't move Robin from here to here. That's an invalid move. So this kind of makes it sort of like chess. You're thinking about your moves and how you want to strategically place your characters, when you want them in the field, whether or not you keep them in the staging area. I think that's part of the balance, but it is a bit more cumbersome like that. So we're going to move whatever, I think it was Cyborg, into here. That ends the move, and now we go into the battle, which we reveal. We're going to reveal all our cards, and we have our battle happening at Titan's Tower. So Robin's going to be sitting out sideline. He's not doing anything. Cyborg is in battle at the Titan's Tower. We'll take a look, and we see Titan's Tower has a limit of 3. That's the field limit. And it has a special ability, a field effect. While this is up and while there's a battle, each Teen Titan character gets plus 100 power. So Cyborg's base is 500 power, so that means he is at 600. We're going to do a grade check. Field limit is 3. Thunder is grade 2, and so is Cyborg. They can battle. So we're going to have an actual battle taking place here. We also do a team check. That's the next thing we have to do. I forgot to mention that. That's where if you assign more than one characters to a location that does not exceed the limit, the field limit, you would next then do a team check, which is they have to be on the same team. So you could have a character that is on a team or having a team affiliation, or you can have a character that has no affiliation, and that's okay. But if they have another affiliation, so for example, I have Teen Titans, and I think Aqualad is underwater, he is of a different affiliation, they cannot be together at this location, and one of them would have to go. I believe that is the check for the team. Let me just quickly make reference. I think you do the team check first before the grade. If they're not on the same team, the battle does not take place, but the characters remain on the field. That's for the offensive player. For the defensive player, if the characters are not on the same team, they go back to the staging area, and the battle continues without the defenders. So in this situation, Thunder is attacking. If Thunder he is of no affiliation, he just has a grade, he has no team, so that's okay, he can be with anybody. But let's just say he was on a team, and we had assigned another character that's on a different team. No battle would take place, but they would stay at the location. Cyborg as the defender, if I put him here with another character, not Robin, but another character, say, I think Blackfire is from Temerian, she's on a different team, I would have to draw them back into the staging area, but the battle would continue if Thunder could continue the attack, and there would be no one to defend Titan's Tower. But we only have one character on each, so we pass the team check, we pass the grade check, and now we're going to do the compare power phase, which we look at their power. Cyborg has 600 because of the bonus, and Thunder has 400, and he has a special ability. Brothers United, while attacking with Lightning, who's his partner, Thunder gets plus 100 power, but Thunder's not here, so he only has 400. So now we enter the part where you can play storyline cards or skills card. Skills cards usually require you to pay some action cost. Storyline cards definitely do need you to pay an action cost, and that can help change the outcome. So for the attackers, they would do that action first. So I have a couple here that I could use if I want to, and we're going to try that. We're going to go ahead and we're going to play this skills card. This has a requirement. Requirement means that there is an attribute of the character that you're attaching this to that it must meet. This one says none, so I can attach it to anybody. But you'll see that Thunder has 2 attributes, energy and flight. So say, for example, the requirement here is the character needs energy. Fortunately, Thunder does. But if Thunder didn't have energy, and this required energy, or the attribute energy, then you wouldn't be able to play this card with Thunder. But in this case, I can. There's no special effects with this card. And you'll see that I have a sort of a skills meter, which I can pay up to a 1 action cost to add an additional amount of power to his attack. So I'm going to do that. So Thunder's here. The attacker would place this skills card face down. And similarly, so right now as Robin and his team, I have no idea what's underneath there. I just know that it's probably a skills card. So I've got one too, and I think I'll do that. So I'm going to play this one face down. At this point, if you have any storylines that you want to play, the attacker would play it, but he doesn't have any, and I could play. I do have a storyline, which is during the battle phase. This is specific to the battle phase. Each opposing character on this field gets minus 100 power. So I could reduce Thunder's overall power by 100, but this costs me 3 action resources, and I only have 1, so I cannot use this. So I'll keep it in my hand. So that's done. We've declared the skills. No storylines have been played. Now we reveal the skill cards for each character. and we see that there are no special effects. At this moment, any special effects would take place, but there are none. And then, starting with the attacker, they can pay any amount that they want to gain any amount of power they need. So we're just going to go ahead. We're going to pay the cost. So you take one card from your action, and I think it's only one or whatever amount of action per skills that you play. You can play more than one skills if you wanted to, and technically I could. Actually, I could do another skills. I'll show that in a minute. So I pay the cost. It goes in my discard. So I'm paying for 200 power. So now in total, Thunder has 600 power, which just meets Cyborg's requirement. I'm going to show the outcome in two different ways. So in this situation, let's just say Cyborg didn't have this skills. So we just keep it in my hand for now. So Cyborg has a base of 600. Thunder has improved using his skills to 600. It's a tie. No one gets KO'd. And all we would do is return the skills card to the discard pile, and these two characters would remain at Titan's Tower. If Thunder had played, if I had played another skills card, I can play as many as I want for each character. And for a 0 cost, I can already add 100 by default. So I played these two. Let's just say I revealed these two. I paid my 1 cost for this skills here, and I could pay another cost for this skills. It's one payment per skills card. Right now I would have 200, 300, 700 in total for Thunder. Cyborg has 600, and assume I don't have any skills for him. In this situation, Thunder has won the battle because his power is greater than his opponent, which is Cyborg. So if that happened, Cyborg would now become a victory point, and he has a victory point value of 2 because that's his grade. So we would put it off to the side. That would be the victory point for the attacker. And in addition to that, because this was a successful attack from the attacker at this field would take 1 damage, and that damage is represented by one of the cards from the owner of that field, from their card stack, and they would just put it underneath. Now, once Titan's Tower has 3 of these damages, this would then be collected as victory point to the opponent. So we're going to go back in time. We do this, we'll do this, and we'll do this. So Thunder is at 600. We know Cyborg is at 600, but he also has his skills. And we can see that we don't need to pay for this extra 200. He already gets an additional 100 for no cost. So in total, Cyborg has 700 power versus Thunder's 600 power. So Thunder has lost this attack. So we claim Thunder as our victory point. And this would go into discard. This would go into discard. Cyborg stays at Titan's Tower because he was not defeated. That ends this round. Now we go back and flip around where the Teen Titans now are the attackers and Slade is the defender. So we're going to draw up to our hand of 5, and so will Slade. Okay. Titans go first, and we will do the action phase. I'm going to put Starfire down as action, or action resource, and the opponents, they will put down, they're not going to put any, they're not going to put any down. That's it. Now we move into the staging phase where I can play a character, and I will go ahead and I'm going to play Starfire. I play her face down, and Slade will do the same thing. He'll play Slade face down. So now we have our move phase where we can move characters as we need. Now, I've got Robin, and because Cook's Electronics Store was a field limit of 2, and Robin is a grade of 3, I can't move him back there. But I can assign him to one of the other ones, hoping that he can actually be there. So I'm going to assign and move Robin to this location. I know this one's Starfire. My opponent does not. She has a grade of 2, which means that she can be at Cook's Electronics Store, so I'm going to move her there. She stays face down. So now, Cyborg, if I wanted to, I can move him back, and I might, because there's no one currently at Titan's Tower, so I'll move Cyborg back into the staging area, and that is his move. I've completed my move. Now my opponent, or the defender, will move as well. So Slade is a grade of 4. And he cannot be at Cook's Electronics Store because that field has a limit of 2. So clearly, in terms of battling, we will lose the battle, or Slade will lose the battle for this particular field. We, as the defender, can take a look at this card, and we see that this field is a field limit of 4. So Slade can be here. So we're going to move him to this location. And we know Robin's there. So the move phase is done. Now we go into the battle phase where we reveal the cards. So we reveal, we know that Slade. We are at the chemical factory. We take a look at all the field effects right away. This field at the chemical factory is Plasmus gets 200 power. He's not here. This field effect is Overlord gets 200 power. He's not there. Slade has a special ability if he's on the offense, but he's not. He's currently on the defense. And we know that Robin has an offense power, which is for every card in your hand, Robin gets 100 power. So I have 3 cards in my hand as of right now. And that gives him 900 power, which is right now greater than Slade's. So we've compared the power. This is the opportunity to play any skills cards and any storyline cards, starting with the attacker, the Titans. I do not have any skills to play. I have a storyline that I have, but I still can't afford to pay it because it's the cost of 3 and I only have 2 resources. So I'm going to pass. Now the defender has an option. And interesting. So I've got 3 skills that I could play with, that I want to play with Slade. I look at the requirement for all 3, and all 3 have an attribute requirement of energy. Slade has attributes of intelligence, agility, and gadgets. So I cannot play these skill cards with him. Therefore, Slade is stuck at 800. So no storylines, no skills that are being played. Sorry, we also reveal Starfire because she's attacking. And we can now resolve the battles. So for this battle, there is no one defending Starfire, so that is an immediate hit. So we would take the attacker's card and place it under to indicate that this field has taken 1 damage, and that is resolved. We are going to resolve Slade's battle with Robin. Robin, because of his ability, has 900 against Slade's 800. Slade loses the battle, so we're taking that as victory. And that is a grade of 4, which means I have 6 points in total in my victory pile, and this field takes damage out of its 4. The battle's done. So now, again, we would switch. We'll draw up to our hand. And we'll draw up to my hand here. Okay. The action component, we will put this one down for action. And for the Titans, no, we'll keep that. Yeah, we'll keep that as is. So now we do the staging, and for the attackers, we're going to stage the Slade's Commando. We'll put them down. And now we'll also do a stage. We will stage Aqualad. We'll put him face down. And now we can go into the move. So the move phase, it all depends. This is Slade's commando. He really doesn't have a lot of power. I don't have any energy that can really do anything. I can see that my opponent has Cyborg, who would clearly beat them, so I'm not going to move. I'm going to keep him there in the field because Slade's side is the attacking side. So as the defender, Robin and his team will pull back. We can keep Robin and Starfire here because they can continue attacking, and there's no one to defend. If I wanted to, I can move, but I don't think that there's a point. So I can leave this as is. There is no battle to take place because Robin's side is defending. These guys are not attacking. It's this side attacking here. So we can leave them as is. That ends the round. The next round, we draw up to our hand again. And this time, Robin and the Teen Titans are the attackers. We do the action. I'm okay with that. Any action that we want to do? I'll put this one as action. Okay. Now we do the move. So we're on the attack. So we've got Cyborg, Aqualad, Robin, and Starfire. They're going to stay here. If I want to, I can move Cyborg, and I think I will. I'm going to move him to this location. It's funny that they have this field location right above the deck, so it's actually in the way. So maybe what I'll do is I'll just move this over so it's not in the way. We'll keep the trash here, and that way you can see if there's any attack. So I've got Cyborg at this location. Starfire, Robin, I'm going to leave them there, and they're on the attack. So I've done my move. I'm not moving Aqualad. He stays face down. And now I'm going to move the commando. And, well, we don't really have too many options here. So we know that this field is, if he doesn't defend it, is going to get captured. But I do not have, I don't think I have energy. Yeah. I don't think I have anything to help. So we'll move this one to here and see what happens. So now we reveal. Okay, this is Slade's headquarters. And we have a Slade commando. And this one has a field effect of each of Slade's army character. Slade's army character gets 100 power, so he has 300. We reveal his special ability. While attacking with Slade, Slade's commando gets plus 100 power. So I still have to find clarification on this one, which is while attacking with Slade. I'm assuming you're attacking together versus if the commando was here and Slade was in another location. They're not technically attacking with each other. They're attacking at separate locations. So anyways, because of Slade's headquarters effect, he gets 300 to Cyborg's 500. So at this point, we can play any skills or storyline cards. Now, if I wanted to, I could play some skills, but I don't really need to because I have two areas that are not being defended. And I'm pretty sure Cyborg can take out that commando. So for the defender, again, I'm stuck where the three skills that I have are all energy, require energy attributes. And Slade's commando has agility, gadgets, and flight as its attributes. So nothing else to be played. We're now going to compare power. No power to compare here because there is no one to defend. So this one takes another hit. The field for Cook's Electronics Store has a limit of 2, which is the maximum damage it needs. This would be the second damage. So we're actually collecting that. So this goes in the discard. We collect this as a victory point. So now I'm at a total of 8. And now we resolve Cyborg and the commando. Commando's going to lose, so we gain him as a victory point, and Slade's headquarter takes damage. And that ends the round. So Slade has his turn to attack now. We'll draw, I think, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we draw 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, no. We didn't play any cards. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I think I forgot to play a character. I think I missed that step. That's okay. So we now move into the action, and I don't have an action I want to do. Or sorry, I don't have an action resource I want to play. And see, we're also stuck in this same boat here. I'm going to play this as action. So Slade now goes into his staging, and we're going to play Lightning, who has a grade of 2. We'll put him in the field, or in the staging area, and the Titans will play, I'll do Blackfire. Okay, so it's Aqualad and Blackfire in there, right? Okay. Okay, so now we go into the move. So the attacker gets to move first. We're going to move him there. And now the defenders are going to move. I'm going to move Starfire out into the staging area. I'm going to keep Cyborg and Robin at their respective locations. And let's see. I'm going to move Blackfire into Titan's Tower. We've done our move. Now let's reveal for battle. We take a look quickly. It says Blackfire has no ability. Lightning has his ability, which is if he's attacking with Thunder, he's not. The Teen Titans field gives each Teen Titan character 100 points. 100 power. But Blackfire is not a Teen Titan. She is a Tamaranian. I think I said it wrong. Tamaranian. And of grade 3. So we do a team check. It's only one character, so there's no team. We do a grade check. It's okay because they are both 3 or under for this field. So this is a valid battle. Now the attacker, Lightning, gets to choose if he wants to play any storyline or skills, and he's going to play some skills. So we're going to play this one. And this one is an energy storm. The requirement for this is energy, and Lightning's ability is energy. He has a special effect, which he gets 100 power. So I'm going to play this one. And I really want to, I've got to overcome 700 on Blackfire. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put down 2 more skills. So I can play any number of skills that I want. And that's it. Now Blackfire, or the Titans, have an opportunity to. So I would like to play this skills, but the requirement is agility and can only be used on defense. So I can use on defense, but Blackfire doesn't have agility, so I can't use this one. However, I can use Rage, which has no requirement, but no special effect. I play it face down. So we've done the skills aspect, and now we would flip over our skills card and reveal. Okay, so we know Lightning automatically gets 100, so he gets 600. And with this skills, I can leave it as is and not pay a single cost, and I would get an additional 3, so he'd be at 900. We can see that Blackfire is also at 900. Oh, no, she's only at 700, but up to, if the Titans pay 2 action costs, she can be up to 1,000. So we need to meet or exceed that. So his 600. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go and pay 2 action costs to gain an additional 300. So in total, Lightning will have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He will have 1100 power. Blackfire is going to pay. Is there a point for her to pay? No, because if she pays the 2 energy or 2 action costs for 300, she's only at 1,000. So I'm not going to bother wasting that. So we're now going to resolve the battle. Lightning wins the battle. This goes into discard. Blackfire becomes victory point for Slade. Let me put this one here. Victory point for Slade. And these all get discarded. And for the ones that I played, the extra ones, they had special effects, but they don't apply to... This is a special effect on the offense, but it only applies to specific characters. Without that, you would just ignore that, and you can still use the skills for its base power bonuses. And Titan's Tower would take a hit. And there you go. That ends the battle for Slade. Now we're going to go with the Titans. We draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slade will draw up to his hand. We got a lot of skill cards on him. Oh well. And the Titans are going to attack. We're going to leave Robin and Cyborg at these locations because we know we're going to attack. So right now we're going to do first the action resource. And do I have any? Yeah, sure. Actually, no, I'm going to put Beast Boy down because I'm good. Okay, so I have 3 action, and my opponent can do the same if he wants to. Oh, yeah, I'll put one in there. And now for staging, I have no one to stage, but Slade does, and we're going to put Overload out in the field there. Now we do the move, starting with the Titans because they're attacking. So right now, I know this is Aqualad. I've got Starfire, who previously battled at the field and won it. She has a grade of 2. Cyborg has a grade of 2. Slade's headquarter has a limit of 4. So I can move Starfire to this location. So the 2 of them will be attacking together. And for Aqualad, I'm going to leave Robin where he is. If I wanted to, I could do a little do-si-do and reverse them around, but I don't need to. So as the attackers, I'm done. For the defenders, I'll leave Lightning here, but I will move Overload to this location to hopefully defend. So now we're done. We reveal. It is Overload. He has a power of 400. And he is of no affiliation, so he doesn't gain any bonuses from Slade's headquarters. But it has energy absorption for his offense, so he's currently defending. So he doesn't gain any ability there. So as the attackers, we now go into the revealing or paying any skills or storylines. And for me, well, I'm pretty confident. That's 500 versus Overlord's 400. Robin's going to definitely win this one. I'm not too concerned. I think I'll just leave it as is. My opponent, Slade, he's got 2 skills that he could play, which could potentially give Overload, let's see, 700, 800. He's not going to win this one, no matter what I try. Because if I play these 2 skills, he would get 400. I could pay 2 action for 300. That would give him 7. And this one for a cost of 0 gives him 100. So that's 800. The combined power of Starfire and Cyborg is 1,000. So I've lost this battle for sure. Or Slade has lost this battle for sure. So let's resolve it. Overload, is defeated, goes into the victory pile. And the Slade's headquarter will receive yet another damage. That's 2 out of the 4. Robin is going to successfully attack with no one defending, and that now has 3 out of the 4. And so far I have 8, 10, I have 11 points, 11 victory points so far for the Titans. Okay, we're flipping. Now it's for Slade to attack. So he's going to draw his hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the Titans will draw up to their hand, which is just one card. And that's it. We go into the action resource. I'm not going to. For the Titans, maybe this one. I'll do that. Okay. Now we do the staging for Slade. Let's see. I'm going to put plasmas down. We'll put that one down. Okay. And for the Titans on defense, I can put Raven down. I'll put Raven. Okay, here we go. So now we go into the move. In terms of the move, we're going to keep Starfire. Actually, let's start with the attackers. We're going to keep Lightning here. We're going to hope that he can actually do something. We're going to move Plasmus, who has a grade of 4, into this location. We don't know what's behind this location. Hopefully it is a grade of 4 so that he can attack, but we're not sure. And that's it. And then for the Titans, we are going to keep Robin, Starfire where they are. We are going to move. Let's see here. I've got... let's go with moving Aqualad here, and we'll move Raven over here. So that is the end. We're going to reveal for the battle. So it's Plasmus versus Raven at the city streets. So this will be really interesting. So remember, Slade's army is currently attacking, and we're looking at this, and we see these two are fine because they're not attacking, they're defending, and they're allowed to be there. Lightning, we already know, for a grade check is okay, and for a team check, that's okay as well because they're only one person per. They're only one person at this location. But for the city streets, Raven has a grade of 1, Plasmus has a grade of 4. The field of city streets is a limit of 3. So Plasmus cannot attack. He doesn't leave, he just can't attack. So no battle takes place. But Lightning at Titan's Tower, a battle will take place. So now we're at the point of playing any skill cards or any storyline cards, and we are going to go ahead and we are going to play a couple skills. So we know that we need at least 600 or 700 or more for Lightning to defeat Aqualad. Aqualad is of the affiliation Underwater. He is not a Teen Titan affiliation. He will not get the bonus from Titan's Tower. And that's it. So nothing happens over here because, again, Teen Titans are currently on the defense. They are not attacking. It's mostly happening over here. So we know nothing, no battles taking place here because Plasmus cannot attack because he is of a grade higher than the field value. Lightning is going to attack. So he put down his skills, and do I want to put skills down for Aqualad? I sure will. And now we're going to reveal. Actually, you know what? We'll do an example. Before we do that, I'm going to play storyline. So I pay 3, cost of 3. During the battle phase, it must be played before the skill cards are played. So let's just say I remember to do that. Each opposing character on this field gets minus 100 power. So I pay the cost, goes to my discard card, and it's minus 100 to Lightning, so he's at 400, and that's it. Then we play our skill cards. We're done. Now we reveal the skill cards. Okay. So right away, we'll take a look at the effect here. We have Energy Storm, which gives Lightning plus 100, so he's already at 500. With, as of right now, a base of 100, 100, that would give him 700. So we're going to pay 2 actions for an additional 300 power. So we pay that. So as of right now, Lightning has 5, 800, 900. He has 900 power. Aqualad has 600, 700 for Titan's Tower ability. Oh, no, sorry, he does not have Titan's Tower, just 600. If I were to pay 1 action cost for 200, that only brings him up to 800. So Lightning will win this battle. So as a result, we discard this. Aqualad is a victory point, and that battle is over. So that ends the round. Nothing happens here simply because Raven Plasmus was over his grade for this location. And now we will be going to the Titans to attack. So we draw 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Wow, this is just all skills. And for Slade, 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So now the Titans are on the attack. Anything that we want to use for action? I think we do. We'll put this one for action. We'll put this one for action. So I have 3. Okay. So in terms of movement, now the opponents do it. We're going to put down, well, we already have a Plasmus, so I'm going to put this down for action. And we're going to put down this one, and we're going to play this one. And for them, I have no one to play. So we've gone through the action resource. We've gone through playing the staging. Now we go to moving. We got to move so not the attackers. Robin on his team, who are we going to move? Anybody? I think we're okay. I think I'll keep Raven here. Actually, you know what? I'm going to pull Raven back. I'm pulling her back. The defenders, Plasmus must move out because he cannot be there. And we will move this one to this location because it's only one more away from defeat. And I think that's it. Because I moved Plasmus out into the stage, I cannot move him out again into another field. So unfortunately, and I have to double check the rule book because it does say, because he failed the last grade check, it says the attacker just stays on the field. So, okay. So now, any storylines that you want to play? Let's see, a cost of 3. I cannot afford this one. And I only have a skills, and that skills is not, okay. So there we go. So now we go into the skills phase. I'm going to play a skills for Robin, which would be, oh, he can't. Oh, I can't play any of these. Oh, well, that's okay. So I can't play any of my skills, but I can play a skills for this character. Sorry, I was supposed to reveal. And there we go, we got Slade. And I can play this skills. Now we reveal all the skills. This has no special effect. Slade has a base of 500. Robin gets a plus 100 for every card in his hand because he's currently on the offense. So he gets 900. 900 and Slade gets at most 200. So Slade's not going to win this one. So we're going to resolve the battle first on here. This is a successful hit on Slade's headquarters. That's a third. We'll resolve this attack. Robin is at 900. Slade, at the most I can get him to is 700, so it's not worth it. So he is victory point. This chemical factory would take 1 more damage, which meets the limit, so this gets discarded, and this becomes a victory point. I think we've won at this point. So let's just double check. We have 6, 8, 9, 11, 15. We have more than 15. So the Titans have defeated Slade. There you go. Teen Titans trading card game or collectible card game. As you can see, there's quite a bit going on to keep track of. There's the movement in terms of trying to do the strategy and where your characters can go. I think initially it's kind of sort of a shot in the dark. You don't know. Let's see which one this one was. This was the other, I think this was a 4. Yeah, the pizza shop. So at the beginning, you're kind of trying to figure out and get a feel for what fields are out there. And until those fields are revealed, then both characters have a better sense of how they can move their characters and strategize better. But until those fields are revealed, you are taking that sort of chance. You don't know if your character attacking will be able to attack. And for the defender, you don't know if you're going to get sent back. So there's that rock, paper, scissors at the beginning. After that, it's once the field cards are revealed, I feel that there's a bit more strategy involved and limitations because you may have characters that you can't actually put out onto the field or a field location. So you can definitely do, sort of team ups, being mindful of the grade checks, the team checks. I think it's a little frustrating, it's a little annoying, but doesn't break the game. It's just extra steps that you have to keep in mind when you're doing that. And I'm sure there are lots of other card games that you sort of have to keep check. And the one thing here is it's no different than trying to keep check of all your power augmentations for plus or minuses in other games, especially when you have multiple increases or decreases in your stats. So I like the artwork on the cards. The quality overall I think is good. It's too bad only 2 cards get the foil treatment, but that's okay. I'm sure that's the point of getting boosters and booster packs. And there you go. I would say it's not too complicated, and I enjoyed the theme. So there you go, Teen Titans collectible card game. I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, stay bored.